What's going on, YouTube? Marty here. It's been a while for good reason. Haven't really been feeling super psyched about shit, and not really myself. Obviously, my wife's medical issues have been pretty huge impact on our lives and our family. Of course, we're very worried about her. And update, we got her out of Grand Rapids 2 weeks ago. She's back here in town. She's in a subacute rehab facility here in town, which has been great. Get to see her twice a day. Our son gets to see her every day, a couple times, which is great. So she's progressing slowly. And again, I just want to take a minute to thank everybody that has sent well wishes, bought stuff from the distro, contributed to that GoFundMe thing. You know, I never thought in a million years I would need something like that, but as it turns out, we did. But your generosity, everybody's generosity has been amazing, and thank you so much for your kind words. It means a lot. We're touched. The metal community rules. Family, friends, they're all amazing. Yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you again, and I'll keep little postings here and there. She's slowly on the upswing, so that's great. And so yeah, it's been a while. And needless to say, due to my wife's medical problems and the fact that neither of us have been working a whole lot, her not at all, me, I'm slowly now just starting to get back to work. Money isn't something that's readily available, or I'm throwing around into buying a whole bunch of stuff. So basically, the things you're going to be seeing here are shit I bought before the stroke. And, you know, moving forward here as I try to get myself a little more into making these videos again, I just haven't been feeling myself. So I haven't really been wanting to sit and talk and, you know, do whatever, feel normal. I'm trying to feel normal again. I guess this is what this video is doing. But, yeah, we're going to start going through some 7-inches, some non-metal records that I enjoy. Maybe I'll go through my non-metal collection. It's only about this big of a stack. What's spinning, some things here and there that I've been picking up. This isn't all of it. I picked it up before the stroke. But anyway, we're going to get started. In the background, should you be able to hear it? Elf Trying to Burn the Sun, Ronnie James Dio's band Pre-Rainbow. This was 1975. And man, there was a time when I bought this and another one, Carolina Country Ball. I always liked it because it sounds like Dio. Dio is kicking ass on it like always, but the music is a little more rock, boogie-woogie type rock with a lot of piano. I always thought it was a little cheesy, but still enjoyable because it was Ronnie James Dio singing. But man, I put these on the other day. They're really heavy. The band is a good band, and I'm hooked. I'm digging it. There's one more Elf record I'm looking for. Has Dio on the cover looking like an elf. But yeah, if you're a Dio fan, check these out. It's different. It's weird. It's great. You know, Dio's always been a real solid singer. And I think in his earlier years, early in the 70s, he took a few more chances with some higher notes. Never out of his range, but he didn't do that as much in his older days. But good shit, man. You should check it out. And I'm going to start off first with a little bit of VCLT. I have some cool friends, and VCLT isn't something that comes around these parts too often, but greatly appreciated when it does. And yeah, and there's a guy on here, Patrick, who does Ground Zero Salem. You should definitely check out his channel. He is one of the best YouTubers, one of my favorites by far, and he's a super awesome dude. He sent me a little care package. It was a couple, 4 tapes, Dead Brain Cells, and I can't remember the other one. I had it already, had them both on tape already, so I passed those along to a dear friend of mine who had never heard Dead Brain Cells before and was blown away, so thanks, Patrick, for that. But he also sent some other stuff. He sent Infernal Majesty, None Shall Defy on cassette, which, man, this is a huge swing and a miss for me. Never picked up this album back in the day because of that stupid fucking album cover. I mean, that's really dumb. But it's fucking great. It is really great. Proto-death, thrash. It's mostly thrash with a definite death metal swing. It's fucking excellent stuff. Really dark album. Definitely check this out. Patrick, thank you. I'm probably end up someday getting this on record if I can find it. He also sent this band who I'd never heard of before, Titan, Mind Over Metal. This album, it kind of, the sound of the album is summed up in the picture, if I can get a, you gotta, you got these dudes over here, these three dudes that are in their leathers and their shirts, and they're looking like they want to be thrashers. Like, oh, we want to take our music in a more heavy direction. And you got these two dudes that look like sweet rockers. They're like, oh, Europe is a great band. Final Countdown. Check out my, manly chest hair. It's flowing in the wind, and I want to get oiled up with my buddy here, my bass player buddy over here, and sing songs about conquering things. But yeah, I mean, that album, that kind of sums it up. The music of Titan is heavy. It's, traditional metal with a definite heavy, want to tip into the thrash realm, but a really flowery AOR style vocalist. And I've listened to it once, and I didn't hate it. I actually enjoyed it a little bit. But I mean, I think that album cover really kind of summed it up. But also, Patrick took the time, which I thought was super fucking thoughtful. He knew I was traveling a lot between Grand Rapids and Traverse City, like 3 times a week, see my wife. And he made me this. It's kind of coming apart because the heat of the truck, it kind of started coming untaped. He made me this 2 CD mix CD thing. Did it up with all original, or with some really cool artwork, spanning, old thrash, death metal, hardcore, punk, some shit I've heard of, some shit I'd never heard of, and I thought this was just a really thoughtful fucking gift, something he made, I thought it was very thoughtful, and I really appreciate it. It's been listened to a bunch. It looks like it's been through the ringer already, but I'm still listening to it. It's a lot of fun, and it makes me want to get back to making mixtapes and mixed CDs again, so watch out, friends. When I start getting some time and a little better feeling going on, I'm going to probably make you guys some shit. But another VCLT arrived, this time from my buddy Eric Bauer out in Seattle, another channel you need to check out. Eric, thank you again for this. He sent me Toe Tag. I don't know if this is Piss Boner and Handful of Dirty Words. I think it's just called Toe Tag, self-titled. But basically, this is Blaine from The Accused and a couple other members, ex-members of The Accused, got together and made this band, Toe Tag, and it sounds like a punkier version of The Accused. There's no doubt that Tommy from The Accused, he's just a sharp, fucking lethal riff writer. But this is really enjoyable. I've listened to this a bunch. I love Blaine's crazy, unhinged vocal style. And this reminds me of The Farts, which is another punkish band that Blaine was in. Also, I think the members of Toe Tag are also in the Accused AD, which is a Accused tribute band made up of ex-Accused members. Have not heard anything they got coming on, but I know they're getting ready to tour. I don't know if they're going to continue to make albums or if they're just going to come out as Toe Tag. But this was a very highly appreciated... let me read this to you. Formed by Blaine Cook, Alex Maggot Brain Sebald, and Steve O-Ring Nelson of Splatter Thrash Heroes fame, The Accused. So basically, it's The Accused minus Tommy. Great album. It's been a lot of fun listening to this. And again, Eric, thank you for your generosity. And I will get both you and Patrick back here soon-ish. Should I keep going out with the vinyl? I'm going to. Before the stroke, put in an order for Iron Flame, Lightning Strikes the Crown. This is Andrew DeCogna from Nechachwan fame, his traditional heavy metal project. It's great. It's really great. Andrew wrote all the music and the lyrics, performed everything on here, other than some guitar solos by Jim Dofka, Aaron Carey, who's also Nechachwan, and fantastic fucking guitar players. And some friends, you know, did some other stuff, some solos on here. But this is a great traditional heavy metal. I've only listened to it once. Came with a sticker. Came with a CD of the album, which is kind of a cool deal. Great stuff. Check out Iron Flame. I'm sure Andrew's got a Bandcamp for it. Excellent stuff. Now this one, I'm sure will chap a few asses, but I don't really give a fuck. I spent way too much money on this record, but this is one of those things I wanted. Yeah. Horde, Heilig Usfart. What is it, you ask? It looks black metal. Yes, it is black metal, but it's wholly un-black metal. Basically, Horde is Jason Sherlock, who went under the moniker Anonymous, kind of like Euronymous, Anonymous. So no one knew who this was when this album first came out, and there was a bunch of people in the black metal scene that wanted to kill him because he was stealing their art and their message. Well, I'm not a Christian, and as a matter of fact, I don't believe in the Christian dogma or teachings. So if you're going to sing about Satan, how can you get pissed off about someone singing about God other than it's anti what you are singing about? Because Jesus and Satan are kind of from the same book, correct? So anyway, let's get past that crap. Horde, Heilig Usfart. I picked this up because a friend of mine who was into Christian metal burned this for me a long time ago, and honestly, it's a great fucking black metal record. It's razor sharp buzzsaw guitar tone, excellent riffs. Jason Sherlock knows his shit. He's a super talented guy, and you could tell he was kind of the talented one in Mortification back in the day. I mean, the first two albums with him on it are great, and after he left, that band steadily took a dump. But, so yeah, church bell tolls amidst the frozen Nordic winds. Behold, the rising of the scarlet moon. Invert the inverted cross. I mean, basically, it's black metal with a positive twist on it, a more Jesus-y take on it. Honestly, I can look past that because this is such a lethal, ass-raping, fucking scathing record. I dig it. It's good. Chainsaw guitar tone, excellent riffs, well-written songs, excellent drumming, really nasty, snarled vocals. As far as holy black metal goes, holy un-black metal goes, this Horde has been the best I've heard. You know, there's Antester, there's, you know, a bunch that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But if you're gonna check this shit out, this is definitely a good place to start. And, you know, leave your bullshit hang-ups about Christianity at the door, because whatever, it's hell of an interesting story that people can get their panties in a bunch over. Next, there's some stuff I picked up around the Philadelphia Beer and Metal Festival put on by Decibel, which was a great... Why is my shit out of focus? Anyway, these are our 4 things I picked up from Hell's Dark Descent Records. Ben's already shown this, but I'm going to show it as well. Sarcasms, Within the Sphere of Ethereal Minds. Excellent melodic Swedish death metal. Gotta love that boogie woogie with Dio singing, man. Come on. Get over it. Sarcasm. Excellent. Well written. This is a very long album, and it is very well written. I've said that a million times. Good production. Excellent melodic, aggressive death metal. These guys... The only other thing I have is an original pressing of A Touch of the Burning Red Sunset that Andrew Harris put out on his Breath of Night Records, who is the dude from Judas Iscariot. It got water damaged, unfortunately, but still plays great stuff. Also from Matt, I picked up, out of morbid curiosity, I had to hear this, Blood Feast, The Future State of Wicked. Out on Hell's Headbangers, Blood Feast is back. It's basically, I think, one original member, the guitar player, that left before Chopping Block Blues, and that's probably why that album sucks. But this is good. You know, the music's really good. It's good thrash. The singer isn't maybe as unique and crazy as the original vocalist, which I can't remember his name right now, but, you know, this has been... It's not something I've listened to a ton, but old guys ripping up the thrash, they know how it's done, they know what to get done, and more power to them. I like it. I don't love it, but I do enjoy it when I'm in the mood for it. And also, I picked up a couple reissues from Matt at Dark Descent table. I've always had a burn of this, and I've always loved it, and it was cool to see it was reissued. This is Zisma with Yeah. Very strange finish grind with a bit of death metal pulse to it. This contains the Yeah, Above the Mind of Morbidity, blah, 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 Above the Mind of Morbidity, a mini LP, Fata Morgana EP. So basically, all the early works of Zisma is on this, and it's good shit. Unique, kind of fearless, kind of groundbreaking. These guys turned into a very strange rock band as they progressed. I didn't really follow them because I lost interest, but, you know, if you see this tumbling around, definitely check it out. You'll like it, I think. And here's another reissue by a Swedish band. I think they're Swedish. Utumno with Across the Horizon. This is a band that slipped through the cracks for me during the Swedish death metal heyday, and I've been in the mood for that stuff. This contains the Across the Horizon original LP and the Light of Day EP, 7-inch on the end of it. I know friends of mine like Aaron hate bonus tracks, but when it's shit like 7 inches and stuff like that, or mini LPs that are super hard to find and are within the same era that the main album was recorded in, I'm fine with it. It's usually very enjoyable, and this is enjoyable. Really good, thick, melodic Swedish death metal. Definitely checking out all the records done, but I'm not going to go flip it over. Next, I'm very surprised that I bought this because I haven't given a shit about this band in a very long time, but this is the self-titled Obituary album. I was at a friend's house. Jim, how's it going, brother? And he had this on LP, and after watching him headbang an air guitar to 3/4 of this record, I realized the riffs are really good and heavy. John Tardy's vocals sound great. Old, tortured snarl like he did on the early albums. This is probably the best thing I've heard from these guys since Cause of Death, and I am psyched that I picked up a copy of it, because I've excellent driving music. Winding down a little bit. I don't know how to pronounce this. Emyan Mule? Emin Mule? Anyway, this album is called... I can't pronounce it. Basically, this is... Check out that cover art. Isn't that awesome? Simplistic but effective. This is basically Italian summoning worship. So I guess if your name is Wyatt, you might want to check this out. But it sounds nearly exactly like summoning, and with a little bit more of a simplistic, little less layered sound. It's got the thin sounding keyboards, the drum machine, really caustic vocals. I dig this. I've listened to this tape quite a bit, actually. I bought it with a batch of tapes from Out of Season, the label Out of Season, who specialize in dungeon synth and dark ambient music, which I'm getting to that here in a minute, but definitely you should check it out. Tape was cheap, $5 or $6. Next, couple gifts from a friend of mine. Austin came by and dropped off these. I am releasing the new Paths album here soonish, I would imagine. Things have seemed like they've been in limbo, but we're trying to get shit moving again. But Paths from Canada. He brought me the Where the Oaken Heart Dwell and First Paths Tread anthology. So the Oaken Heart Dwell is a full-length tape on Werewolf Productions, and this little box set thingy, which my son picked up and ripped. Thanks, Parker. Basically, this is a collection of demos. Parts 1 and 2. I don't know why my screensaver came on, but it did. And excellent black metal. I think the new stuff is way more advanced, but you could hear the development and the growth, and excellent stuff. You should definitely check these out if you've stumbled across them. And lastly, these next 4 tapes I've only listened to once or twice, and let's talk about dungeon synth for a minute. This is a style of music that I never really thought that I would become this enamored with, but hours upon hours spent in a hospital at night trying to fall asleep in an uncomfortable chair. I found dungeon synth to be very soothing, kind of like black metal with the metal stripped away, and just these excellently structured songs. Dungeon synth, the term dungeon synth, revolves around medieval, scales and sounds and themes. It's typically no vocals, just really chintzy Casio sounding keyboards, maybe a drum machine, maybe not, but a lot of medieval sounds and feels. And basically, if you're into Dungeons and Dragons, Patrick, dungeon synth would be a good companion, I think, to playing and drinking some beers. But so these bands, I am not completely, other than this one, Sequestered Keep, out of all of the dungeon synth stuff, this is probably one of the more developed bands and prolific. They put out 7 albums last year. I think it's just one dude, Green Tape, Pro Tape. And I would be surprised if this isn't one of the guys from Caladan Brood. I think they're from the same town, same state. It hasn't been said, so don't quote me on that. There's this layer, this level of quality and layering on it that just kind of makes me think that it might be the same dude. But this is excellent. This is the latest album, Wandering Far. Excellent, metalist, keyboard-driven medieval music. That's all I can really say. And here's another one. This is basically a black metal band trying their hand at dungeon synth. This is Frostvale with oh Jesus, Antediluvian Majesty, Frostvale. Sorry. This is a really good tape. Again, this is on Out of Season. Pro tape. Excellent layering, excellent song composition. It isn't just, a dude from Russia plinking away on a shitty Casio. It's actually well composed, structured music. I've found myself listening to this more than a couple times, and we'll be digging into it further. These next 2 are on Wolf Rune Works, and a little lesser in quality, but still, it's good. This stuff is kind of billed as dungeon synth, but to me, it strikes me more as dark ambient with some keyboard flourishes. This is Zampo Mien Basto? I don't know. I got from Out of Season as well. Spun it a couple times. It's layered. It's well composed. Very transportive music, which lately I've been into that. I'm trying to escape the shitty reality. I don't know what the fuck this says. Darch Twarach, Among a Velvet Night. Again, nothing groundbreaking here, just dungeon synth. I got number 30 of 33. Xerox cover. Bare minimum quality, but enjoyable nonetheless. And again, it's been great digging at the hospital, going through, listening to this stuff. A brand new genre to explore, which I can't believe I need another one to explore, but here we are. And lately, musically, I haven't been listening to a ton of black metal. It just hasn't felt right. I've been listening to a lot of older shit, old traditional metal, power metal, trying to be a little happier about shit helps with that a bit, and dungeon synth and death metal. So that's been kind of my journey in a nutshell here this past month and a half. But it's good to be back, and I'm going to try to stick my nose into things here and there as the mood arises. And I hope you're all doing well, and talk at you later. See ya.